Hi and welcome everyone to today's Q&A session with CFO Niklas Koresaar from Flexion. You recently reported your Q3 numbers. Once again, you showed really strong growth driven by substantial increase in revenue per game and the larger portfolio. How do you see this dynamic evolving going into 2021?
Yeah, we came into this quarter with a lot of momentum, and I think we've proven that we continue that momentum in the quarter. We grow revenue by 180% and gross profit by 220%. We are going into the fourth quarter, which is a bit slower, but we have a lot of momentum. There's a lot of games which haven't taken off yet, and there's a lot of games coming in. So it looks pretty good, to be honest, going forward. I think we're going to see a lot of momentum going forward into the new year, definitely.
And I know that part of your I think you grew revenue by 176% in the quarter. Part of that is obviously a very strong momentum for revenue per game. How should one view that going forward? I mean, obviously it's because you have a large part from Huawei now than before.
Yeah, we communicated in the previous quarter that we saw specific games or channels taking off. But we saw in this quarter, of course, you have the marketing campaigns over Christmas and Black Friday and that. But it was very much a general increase across the whole portfolio, both on the game side and the channel side. So it's a more stable growth in the company. I think that's very positive because it's more cement your position than being very dependent on the individual factors. So for me, it's been a really good quarter.
Okay, perfect. Then there was also some headwinds where you choose not to renew a loss-making contract with a multi-game contract. Can you give us some more flavor of this? What was the cause and how you will act differently in a similar situation in the future?
So that contract, that is still under negotiation, so I can't comment on it, nor do I know where we end up. But in general, we're kind of in a luxury position at the moment where we have a very strong portfolio and a lot of momentum with inflow of games. So we can start to be a little bit more selective, focus on quality, focus on the game. We have games now that makes more than $500,000 per month. And of course, it's very attractive to get in a few more of those and get some of the existing games up to that level. And so if smaller games that struggle a bit and requires a lot of resources, is it worth continuing with those, or are we replacing those with games that works better? So those kind of luxury decisions we can start looking at now. So I think it's a focus towards quality instead of quantity.
Okay, good to know. And then if we look back to December, you completed 2 directed share issues, bringing in over 100 million in SEK. What will be the main purpose of this strength and liquidity for Flexion?
Yeah, I just want to comment on it. There's really 2 reasons why we did this. We listed 2 years ago when we haven't raised any capital, so we haven't really done an IPO on the market. So we very much view this to be our IPO, basically the IPO for Flexion, where we put ourselves on the map for institutional investors. We had a kind of an aim to find a few institutional investors. We got 11 in a heavily oversubscribed round. And so we now have investors, institutional investors in Sweden, a lot of quality investors in Finland, mainland Europe, UK, Asia. So we start to see inflow of contacts from investors around the world, which we haven't seen before. So that's a very strong milestone, very important milestone for Flexion. But of course also the capital of the company. So of course we're going to increase sales in kind of key markets and local sales reps around the world, and look at the delivery team and maybe increase a bit. But that's not really big investments. So for us, it's very much to increase our service offer. We are the leader in multi-store distribution around the world, and that's the position we really want to cement going forward. So we have another 2 months until the new financial year. So the whole senior management team at the moment is very much looking into, are we building those service stacks ourselves, or are we looking into smaller M&A activities to buy specialist companies within the segments? So that is very much the focus of the team at the moment.
And in conjunction with this directed share issue, you also renewed your collaboration with Huawei. How important do you think this deal is to Flexion, and what will it mean to you operationally?
It's a 3-year contract, and the important thing here really is these are really big organizations we work with. And if you manage to get these contracts signed, you have an acceptance very high up in their organizations. And that means that you kind of part of their strategy going forward. So we're going to work with them on sourcing new games together, look at marketing activities, what can we develop together. So it's a long term. This is very important for us, and it's going to help us to drive revenues through that channel a lot going forward.
Okay, perfect. Then lastly, I would like to wish you best of luck going into 2021, and maybe you can share what you're most looking forward to for Flexion in the new year.
Thank you. It's clearly it's to start building this service pipe. The strategy around how we take Flexion to the next level. If it build ourselves and this M&A activities, I find this super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to have a big impact on the company over the next 12 months.
Best of luck, Niklas Koresaar from Flexion, and thank you all listeners for listening in today.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for that. Bye-bye.